All right, it looks like it is showtime. Hello, YouTube. You're tuned in to the Katie Talk 101 show. Please make sure when you come through, go ahead and hit that like button. If you watch the playback, please do the same. Big shout out to all my new subscribers. All right, so you see the title today. It looks like Black women are at the center of all conversations once again. Okay. Um, and this topic of conversation has been had several of times, speaking on some list that ended up going viral of the top 10 reasons why Black women are the least married. But before I get off into that, I want you guys to listen to something another sister had to say. Take a listen to what she said, okay? Because I kind of felt the same way.
Dating. Every other year is a new reminder. New stats show they still don't like y'all. They still don't want y'all. Wait 2 years. Yeah, they still don't want y'all. We can't act like that shit don't bother us, but when you look around, I don't see any other demographic of women having studies done that show that they're the least desired. It's like, yikes. What does that tell a young Black girl? Not saying that we need outside validation, but not every woman is being called the least desired. Damn. And what's also crazier about that is your own people going into that stat. You are the least desired because Black men are the only ones desiring you. None of them do. Show how undesirable we are in dating. Every other year is a new reminder. New stats show they still don't like y'all. They still don't want y'all. Wait 2 years. Yeah, they still don't want y'all. We can't act like that shit don't bother us, but when you look around, I don't see any other demographic of women having studies done that show that they're the least desired. It's like, yikes. What does that tell?
I see exactly what she's talking about. I just want to show that before I get off into the show, okay? Because what she said made a lot of sense. Every time we look up, it's some kind of study being done on us. It's some kind of list being made against us by, telling us how unattractive we are. They said, now this is what tripped me out. I'm about to get off into the topic, but I want to say this first. It tripped me out because I heard when the person that was doing this video, and shout out to him, his name is Average Man Unplugged. If you like red pill, manosphere type of content, you may want to go and follow him. I'm gonna play like one or two, a few minutes of his videos, but I ended up hearing him say on dating sites, Black women are like the least swipe right on, and I don't know what dating site they're on. That where I don't know who did the test to even come up with this, but I was just thinking, man, when I be on, and I be on a couple of dating sites, I don't meet people. I just like to see what's out there. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like you going into the Gucci store. I only have a couple of $100 to spend. I know I'm not finna buy nothing from there, but I'm just in here just to window shop. What's up with your bougie Barbie? Shout out to my favorite moderator, bougie Barbie in the building. So yeah, I just be browsing on here. But I'm gonna say this, men of all races. I'm not saying this just to try to boost myself up either. I'm talking about decent looking men of all ages. And I have reached out and had conversations with some of them on the phone, have reached out and tried to holler at me. And I'm talking about older, well off looking men, well traveled Asian looking men, very handsome Black men. I mean, ladies, don't let them discourage you out here, and don't let anybody play on your self esteem, honey. And that's why when you see things like the Black wife effect, you seen so many Black men coming out speaking against the Black wife effect. It was just crazy. I don't even know if you guys heard about the Black wife effect, but I want to talk about that at the end. But right now, let's get to the topic at hand. Okay, so there's another list out. Every time you look up, there's a list. Okay, so this list they say is going viral. I guess over on TikTok. And this list is the top 10 reasons why Black women have the lowest marriage rate. take a listen to what this gentleman is saying. Let me make sure I'm sharing first. So these are a few things that kind of got ran down. Black men love black women. And I just think all of this hate really goes on online. And I'm just being honest. When I'm in the presence of other black men, I don't feel this hate. Even when it comes to some of the black men out there who are in interracial relationships, when I'm out and about, I still see them like staring and looking at me, looking at other black women. At the end of the day, a man is a man, and don't let them fool you when they're trying to convince you you're undesirable. Lies.
Have the lowest marriage rate. Number one, nasty attitudes and disposition. Number two, uncooperative and opposed to leadership. Number three, are masculine, lacks femininity. Number four, don't value their virtue. Number five, doesn't prioritize fitness. Well, they are the most.
I know there is a stat that say black women are the most overweight, but y'all got to keep in mind we are the least number we are the least number. We are the what they call the minority. When I go to the gym out here, and as you guys know, the percentage of black people is really low out here in Vegas where I live. When I go to the gym, do you know how many, I mean, massively obese, overweight people that I see in that gym who are white women? Like, I don't know where the, like I said, I don't know where they get these stats from. And the things that he has described thus far can fall into the category of any woman. I'm gonna let him finish, but I got some things to say afterwards. So listen to the list.
They are the most obese. Number six, disregards global ethic image. Man, listen, don't even get me started on that. We can use so many examples. Um, I guess a good example is the fact that they got sexy red in the picture, but let's keep it.
And that's a good example. Yeah, it really is a good example because I feel like the fact that they talk about people like Suki Hana and Sexy Red and other ratchet black women, y'all use these one, two, three, maybe four black women, and y'all try to lump them and slump them into. It's funny to me. I'm sorry. Y'all use these three, four ratchet black women, and y'all try to lump all black women in the category of a sexy red. In real life, just be honest. In real life, how many females have you seen in real life that act like sexy red? And then I don't know. She could be ratchet in real life, but I don't know. I feel like she putting on a persona. She trying to get that money.
Number seven, egotistic. Egotistic. Oh, okay. Egotistic slash rejects criticism. Man, listen. Number eight, no loyalty, unwilling to invest slash build. Facts. This is one of the reasons why when it comes to black people,
They say women are unwilling to invest and build. We are the number one people who are opening up businesses. Well, one minute we too independent and we got too much businesses and we got our own house and our own money. So now we unwilling to invest. Man, y'all just got on here and made up a bunch of mess. I swear. And Barbie said, I don't understand. What do they think these lists are going to do? We're not trying to act like other races just to get married. Exactly. She said, exactly, Katie. How many people act like Sexy Red and Suki Hana in real life? Maybe he needs to change his environment. Thank you. That's the same thing I say. And even when any woman says, "Oh, all guys out here are this, that, and the third," and the first thing that I think of is what side of town do you live on? What side of town do you live on?
we have the least amount of generational wealth. That's because black women have decided, no, we're just going to wait at the finish line. And now they're over here complaining about how
Sir,
there's not enough of those guys.
while you are talking about generational wealth, who usually builds generational wealth? Who usually puts their family in the position to have generational wealth? It's usually the men. And that boils down to the men in our community must not have a lot of funds to build generational wealth. Or either on the other hand, when he do build generational wealth, he feel like he'll have more status if he get with a woman outside of his race. That's the big reason the black community don't have generational wealth. Dr. Umar tell you that. He said Dr. Umar said the reason he's against interracial marriage. For example, I think he was on a podcast and they were discussing Kobe Bryant daddy, how he had to go and sell Kobe ring to get some money because they loan money over there. And he was like, this is why I hate interracial marriages. The black community is suffering, and that Latina or the white woman that he got married to, her family is enjoying all of the man's riches while his black side of the family is suffering. That's a big reason why the black community is suffering when it comes to generational wealth.
And those guys are treating y'all like options because there's far more of y'all than there is of them. But let's keep it moving. Number 9 doesn't tend to a man's ego. Facts. Number 10 has no grounded sense of healthy submissiveness. Oh man, you kidding me?
What do you mean healthy submissiveness? I don't get it. Everything in this list was just so just flaky to me. And then when he said something about a subpar, hold on, let me hear what he just said about this situation. Let me go there.
Options because there's far more of y'all than there is of them. But let's keep it moving. Number 9 doesn't tend to a man's ego.
Okay, that's what he said. Something about tending to an ego. Tending and stroking a man's ego is so draining. If you dealing with a man with low confidence and low self-esteem, man, get your self-esteem together before you get in a relationship. And that's any man of any color, of any age. Get your self-esteem and your confidence together. That way you won't be draining your woman to try to get your confidence and self-esteem and whatnot. A lot of these guys are just tiring, and that's a big reason why, a huge reason why a lot of women are choosing to be single nowadays, because you guys are freaking draining. And I'm not talking about just black women. I'm talking about women of all ages. Okay. And let me go to this right here. So that's the list that ended up going viral right there. Okay. So I don't know if you guys heard about this situation. Let me make sure I'm sharing this. Did you all hear about the guy? His name is Brandon Jamal. He came out with some song that went viral called Now You're a Single Mom. I know y'all heard of the song, I Want to Show You Off. He used that beat and he was like, now you're a single mom. And he walked around with a bunch of diapers looking like a freaking idiot. Okay, I wouldn't be surprised if Brandon Jamal lame self was the one who ended up making the list. I really wouldn't be surprised. Let me show you how this fool acts. And I don't even call people a fool like that. Let me show you something.
So he must be extreme, right? Well, what's interesting about this kickout is that this guy goes by the name of Brandon Jamal. Now, if you recognize his face, he is the same young brother that just dropped the song, So Now You a Single Mom. Da-na-na-na-na-na. That's been going viral over the past month or two all across the interwebs. I want to say on his platform alone, there's over 2 million, maybe 3 million views. And he's created or began to create a name for himself based off of the song. But what happens is that in podcasts, you begin to hear people speak long form, which gives you a lot more information into the true content of the character. And this guy's extremely extreme, for lack of a better word, so extreme that Myron had enough of his ish and kicked him off of the show. Let's go through some of these components because I think there's a lot of lessons in here, especially when you begin to gain status within your life. And how it is that you choose to display that status as a man, and also how you deal with conflict. So let's Get active.
The more you talk, the stupider you sound, you stupid motherfucker.
Damn.
Look into the chat. The more you talk, the stupider you sound.
Look at.
How stupid is you? You got off.
Yo, the gentleman right here, he goes by the name of Tommy Sotomayor, and he's also known for going hard on women. And notice him shaking his head. No, he's totally not with the shit. So Brandon Jamal is currently arguing with this woman right here, who, you know, from my understanding, was a 304 like ex-stripper, and is talking about that she's in good position to get the type of man that she wants, all type of craziness. And he's combating this with the Pampers in front of him, which is where he's known for. But just continue to listen to the way that he's going at this woman, her response, as well as the response of the other men in the room watching him as he turns up.
You got off of work. Didn't go to sleep. What's your dumb ass couldn't go to school on time?
Why would I get out the strip club and not take a shower? Like,
Yeah, that's pretty nasty.
It took you 45 minutes to an hour to take a shower. You couldn't go to school?
Did your parents? I just said I got out at 6:30. I used to lie to my dad.
Let's reset.
I'm convinced more and more that Brandon Jamal is the one who made the list. I'm sorry. He is an idiot. This is who the manosphere looks up to. This is who the red pill people look up to. These are the men who sincerely, truly hate women. And these are the people who they are propping up over there. People like Brandon Jamal. That's who they propping up. And then I look at it like, hold on, I just seen this.
They don't want you to know this.
Guys, this.
And I just feel like you have a group of men who are not married, keep in mind, a group of men who are not married, who are taunting other women for not being married. Make that make sense. A lot of these men who are talking about the
show, nah, he just left. You know, they could still try.
All these men who are talking about the black women, they are least married. The black women are least desired. But it's looking like y'all men, 70% of y'all are lonely out there. So y'all are in the same category as the women who you speak of. Just like this guy, Brandon Jamal, and I'm sorry, this dude is too old to be acting the way he act. Because I had just watched this video earlier of the Average Man Unplugged when he was speaking about this. I didn't know this guy Jamal, he gotta be slow. This guy Brandon Jamal is 36 years old. Man, I swear I thought that dude was like 19 or 20. I'm like, this man is walking around with diapers and he's 36 years old. See, these are the men over in that manosphere that's hollering, I hate women. These are their followers. Man, please pay attention to the people that these men attach themselves to. And while you have black men speaking about how black women are the least married and this is why, I'm going to go to a few statistics because, you know, the numbers don't lie. You got men who lie, women lie, but the numbers don't lie. Okay, so I'm going to go to this first, and I want you guys to see this, okay? Let me share screen, make sure you see it. Okay, so this says, what is the percentage of black men? What is the percentage of married black men? Okay, so this says the percentage of black men who are married has decreased over time from 64%, and that was in the 1950s, to 38%, and this was in 2019, and 35.8% in 2020. So right now, currently, it's sitting at about 35.8. Okay, stick a pin in it so you won't forget, okay? All right, so we're going to go to the statistics of black women. You know, they always say we're married more than the black woman because we go and marry other races and we don't want y'all. Okay, let's go to the percentage of black women. It says in 2020, 30% of black women were married compared to 58% Asian women, 55% non-Hispanic women, 46% Latin. Okay, so the percentage of black women is 30%. Okay, the percentage of black men is 38%. That is not a huge difference. I'm sorry. If you put a room of 10 men in a room, out of those 10 men, it's going to be about 3 to 4 of them married. You put a room of black women, 10 black women in a room. Out of that whole room, maybe about 3 of them are going to be married. And that's not a big difference. For y'all to try to, what do you call, humble us or shine on us that you don't want to marry us and you're marrying other women. Okay, sir, so it's showing 8% of y'all are going out marrying other women. So like I said, you put a room of 10 black men and 10 black women in a room. When it comes to the marriage, it's going to be 1 extra black man that's married. So what is that saying? I thought he was younger than that, 36. Yeah, I swear, Barbie, that guy Brandon, he act like he 18, 19. Man, that's why I say that dude got to be slow. But that's who the red pill manosphere looks up to, a guy like Brandon Jamal. And then when he embarrassed, they're like, oh, I don't like the way he act. Man, y'all agree with it. Because at first, before they put him out, they let him go on and on. Myron and French, they were sitting back laughing, and then when he went too far, they kicked him out. So they were sitting back laughing at him. They agreed with it up until the point he got on their damn nerves too much, and then he got kicked out. But this percentage right here, you guys do not have us be like that. And then when you look at it like this, when you guys call out your own women, do y'all not realize you shining the light on y'all? Because you gotta look, 38% of y'all getting married, 30% of black women getting married. And that's actually up from about 10 years ago, because I think 10 years ago, the percentage of, and I commented that under a person's video when they were speaking on this, about 10 to 15 years ago, the percentage of black women being married was only at 24%. Now it's at 30%. Why do y'all think that is? That's because it's more black women who are marrying other races too. And those marriages look like it's actually lasting a bit longer than the marriages when black men marry white women. And I'm going to show you proof on why that is. Okay, listen to this gentleman right here. He's going to explain it to you. Hold on, I might have to go out and then click on it again. Let me make sure I'm sharing this so you guys can see, because I'm over here on TikTok and I'm about to share some things with you over here.
Here's an interesting statistic. White guys view black women differently than black guys. And these statistics don't lie. Interracial divorce rates. This is pretty interesting. A black man and a white woman are 200% more likely to be divorced. An Asian man and a white woman are 59% more likely to be divorced. An Asian woman and a white man are 4% more likely to be divorced. But this is the crown of the study. A white man and a black woman are 44% less likely to get divorced. Pretty interesting, isn't it? My sister.
Because black women divorced black men and married the government.
Well, white men divorced white women and married the secretary.
That's funny. Okay, listen to him.
I'm glad that these black women, you know what I mean, take from you and do the things that they do, because you Negroes would get all this type of money and then you'll marry a white woman. Ain't nothing wrong with marrying a white woman, but you Negroes don't even give the time or the...
I can't play the music, buddy. Hold up.
Huh. Funny. But not funny, haha. Funny, see a therapist.
I'm glad that these black women, you know...
I don't like them videos with the music. You're trying to give me a copyright. Okay, listen to this man right here. Listen to him. Big shout out to the chat. Y'all make sure y'all hit that thumbs up when you come through. Listen to him.
And show y'all who the prize really is in our culture. Y'all put on y'all seatbelts.
There's statistics on interracial marriage and divorce, and it's actually kind of interesting because a white man with a black woman has half the divorce rate of a white man with a white woman. And interestingly enough, if you reverse the genders and you put a black man with a white woman, they have twice the divorce rate of a white couple or a black couple. I mean, I think they apply either way.
Hear that? That's a white man telling y'all that statistically speaking, a white man and a black man, a white man and a black woman have a higher success rate when it comes to marriage than all the other groups. White men with white women included. A white man with a white woman has a higher divorce rate than a white man with a black woman. And when black men and white women get together, the divorce rate goes up higher than what it would be if a white man and a white woman got together or a black woman and a black man got together. So statistically speaking, black men with white women are the worst category to be in.
So it's interesting that if you just reverse and put a black man with a white woman versus a white man with a black woman, they actually, like, the divorce statistics, they're 400% more likely to get divorced. And they say that's because, and I'm just putting this shit out there, I'm not making it up, like, you can.
I just want to give y'all a little heads up. This man about to say something that if you're a prideful black man, it's gonna piss you the fuck off. But according to the statistics, there might be something to it.
Google it or DuckDuckGo, because I don't support Google. But they say it's because in the white culture, white men are the stronger of the two genders, and in the black culture, the black women are the stronger of the two genders. And so when you get them together, they're just more likely to succeed. They probably overcome more.
Yeah.
You are a liar. Only 9% of that 30% of all black men only date interracially. Which, 9, 3, 3? So 12, 15%.
Actually, what that gentleman was just saying about the 9% of the 39 or 38% of the black men date outside their race. But it's looking like, to me, what that man just said at the end, that so-called gonna piss the black man off, what he just said was true. Okay, so basically he said the percentage of white men who marry black women, those marriages last longer than any other marriage. Though they say those marriages not only last longer than black men marrying white women, but those marriages last longer than the black man who marries a black woman. And why he said that is because in both communities, in the black community, the black woman is usually the strongest, the backbone of the family, and is usually the one who tolerates the most, the one who carries the whole family. In the white community, the white man is the strongest one. In that community, he's the backbone of the family, the strength of the family, the provider. So it's like when you put these two strong people together that's used to being strong, their marriage can be stronger. So that's what it's looking like to me. So I think that's where you sum it up at when it comes to why white men and black women stay married longer. And it makes sense. If you look at it, it actually makes a lot of sense. And stuff like that really, really ticks a lot of black men off when they hear that, but it is the truth. And then, especially just look on the internet. All you see is black men tearing down black women, and they done it. And y'all, just look at it. You just now seeing in the past 4 to 5 years, black women making channels taking up for themselves. Even when it came to Cynthia G, and shout out to her, you guys follow her on Patreon or whatever. Even when it came to Cynthia G was a part of the what they call conscious community. Cynthia G was all for the black man being with the black woman at first. But over time, she seen that's not the way she needs to go, and she switched up her content. So for so long, we just sit and let the black man beat down on us. And just recently, we started taking up for ourselves. So they're like, oh, the black women don't like us, so we gonna go even harder. Y'all already been going hard. We were sitting back being quiet for a very long time. And it's like now that we're speaking up and we're speaking out, they just hate it. They hate it. But that's one thing about a bully. When the person who's being bullied finally starts to fight back, we're looked at as bad people. The bully try to make you look like you a bully. That's really what it sums up to. And it's something else I wanted to show you guys, but it don't look like I can find it. Let me see. Is that the neighborhood talk? It was the little boy. Hold on. I'm going to have to go here. I might have to go to this to find it. Okay. Okay, here it is, right? Okay, so I'm gonna pause this. I'm gonna share this so you guys can see. Okay, so you seen in my title, I was speaking of out of control child, a disrespectful child inside of Walmart. This is the video I'm talking of. And in this topic, I'm gonna bring up Tommy Sotomayor because it was a video that he ended up doing over on his Rumble. You guys can go check that out if you want to. But it was a video he did over on his Rumble, and I'm going to tell you about it in a minute. But listen to this and watch this, okay? This ended up going viral. It says social users are debating on if this woman is an example of good parenting or bad parenting while handling a disrespectful child. You guys watch this and listen to what this child said to their mom.
Calls his mama.
So yeah, he sit up and he called his mom a few B words. If you guys really heard that, he actually called his mom the B word about 4 to 5 times. And all she did was kind of shook the basket or whatever. He grabbed his mom's purse, attempted to throw the purse on the ground. And this is what I said in the comments. So take a listen to what I commented. I usually don't even comment on these little blogs. But when I seen this and thought about the video that Tommy made the other night, it really made me think. So I commented my opinion. And this is what I had to say. I said, I work in a place where I cut kids' hair around predominantly Caucasian people. I see this all the time. I actually seen a boy who was no more than 4 or 5 punch his mom in the belly. And I looked at her and she looked at me so embarrassed. But before they ended up leaving the store, after she got her haircut, because the little boy didn't get a haircut, only the mom got her haircut. She actually let him get some candy before they left. I remember before, no, I didn't say this in the comment, but I remember before they left when he asked for the candy, she looked at me and I looked at her and she was just looking stupid because she sit up there and let that boy get that candy after he done punched her in the stomach. Okay, so So after they left the store, before they left the store, she rewarded his bad behavior with candy. And this is why their bad behavior will always continue. And I added Tommy. I said, at Tommy Sotomayor, I just seen your video. I just seen you on Rumble saying that white women are the best women to have children with. And I said, this doesn't look like great parenting. What are your thoughts? A couple of question marks. So I added Tommy, and Tommy actually responded. Let me show you what he said. So this is what Tommy ended up saying. Tommy said, at Katie, well, the boy will not grow up with low self-esteem nor feel the need to be violent to others. After he hit at his mom and called his mom 5 B words. This is what Tommy said. And he said, and the fact that she did not become aggressive means he won't date an aggressive woman and pass the trauma. Sir, it looks like maybe he has heard this type of language in the household. Have you ever thought about where that boy learned that language? And so he's saying that the boy won't pass down any aggressive trauma to whatever woman he chooses to date. That's what Tommy ended up saying. So someone came up and commented behind Tommy and was like, what? With a question mark? So you don't think that this behavior is aggressive and violent? Even more behind closed doors if he's showing out like this in public? Question mark. So he's gonna date a woman who allows this, and he won't have low self-esteem, but he will make someone else self-esteem low? Question mark. Well, why entertain this? The woman was like, wow. Okay, and then another person commented and added Tommy and said, this is the most he said the R word. He said, this is the most slow answer I ever heard on the internet. Cry face. You give woman beater vibes. I pray that you don't have children. And if you do, I hope they act this way towards you. This is not acceptable. Thank you. This is not acceptable. And another comment that somebody had ended up commenting under me, it says he watched his dad abuse his mom and watched his mom take it. His dad allows him to talk to his mother this way with no consequences. She feel like if she reacts, the husband won't have her back. So that woman is just used to not only her husband probably running over her, calling her the B word too, but she has also gotten used to her own child demeaning her and doing this. Ladies and gentlemen, this is what they call submissive. This is what they call submissive right here, ladies. So when they say they're looking for a submissive woman, that's what they mean. A woman that's gonna sit up and let the man call her bees and degrade her and let the children do the same thing. Barbie said Tommy just says things for attention. He has no talent or marketable skills to everybody. You are so right about that. He just says whatever sensational thing fits the narrative, and he constantly props up other women over black women to try to spark the anger because he know without the black woman name, he'll be completely irrelevant without saying the name of a black woman. Just like a lot of these content creators, take the black woman name, take the black woman name, anything a black woman do, the black woman hair, take all that off the table. Half of these content creators gonna suffer. That's why I titled the video "Black Women Are the Center of Another Conversation" again. So I just wanted to show you guys that there was a little interaction we had. If you guys wanted to watch the video where Tommy said that, which I don't think you guys do, I'll shout him out real quick because I ain't no hater. If you guys want to listen to the rhetoric that Tommy had to say, it's over here on his Rumble, where this video is titled "The White Women Womb is the Best Place for a Man of Any Race to plant his seed, and here's why. So he did a whole rundown on a white woman can produce a baby with beautiful curly hair. A white woman can produce a baby with any color eyes. This sounds like superficial female stuff. A white woman will produce a baby who they won't call crispy, like people be calling him crispy, and I guess he has a hang up about his dark skin. So he said a white woman won't produce a dark skinned baby, and he said y'all just gotta go watch it. I mean, the rhetoric went on and on and on, and I was like, wow, this is insane. This is really insane to me. And let's see, it was something else. Let me make sure I'm not missing anything. Oh, yeah. So the marriage that everyone is holding over your head, making fun of you about not having. I want you guys to listen to this. Okay, hold on. I want to make sure you guys see this. So they sit and try to hold marriage over your head like marriage is the end all be all. And this is what I was about to say earlier, but I had went on and got into the content. But I was saying, I was telling my sis, I was like, sis, back in the day, I remember growing up when I was younger, when I was a teenager and whatnot. And I remember the marriages that I seen were things that I could look up to. I remember seeing married couples and they were like real deal goals. There was no internet around. There was no one looking at people on the internet, looking at one picture, seeing goals. But I remember seeing people back in the day when I was like a teenager, they could have been like in their 30s and 40s, 50s, and they just looked like well-to-do, upper middle class Black people who were married, and it looked like something of substance. Compared to what I see now, the things that I see now does not, encourage me to even want to be married. Like I was saying to my sister, I was like, I made it to 43 and I'm not married yet. And from what I see, a lot of these marriages look raggedy out here. A lot of these marriages that I look at don't even encourage me to even want to be married. And it brought me to this older lady right here. And shout out to her. I don't really know her handle. If I see it, I'll leave the link in the comment of her TikTok. But she is just telling the story of her marriage and the things that she went through throughout her marriage. This woman, she has been married twice. Listen to her story in the rundown of the dynamic of her marriages. Take a listen to this, guys. Hold on, let me make sure I shout out the YouTube because I don't like just playing people's stuff. Okay, this is SJ Talks. So if you guys want to follow her, please feel free to. So I was just listening to this older woman talk about her two marriages. Take a listen to what she had to say.
Yeah, go around. Look, I still ain't know nothing. I thought I still knew a little something, y'all. But look, I still had a little slowness to me. So look, the second marriage, y'all, I still done the same thing. I paid almost all the bills. Same thing, the same thing that I went through with the first. I paid all the bills. Look, and the mortgage was more, and so he helped me with the mortgage, half with the mortgage, and like same way with the rent. And y'all, you know what? Christmas would come, I ain't get no presents. You know what I'm saying? Birthday, no present, no happy birthday, no nothing. No nothing. But this is what I want to tell you this here. Look at him. I wanted to go to the Bahamas. I wanted to go on a little vacation. So I said, let me pay down on the trip because at that time I had the daycare service and I was making a couple coins. I wasn't doing too bad, but I wanted to, go on vacation. So I went on and paid a little bit, for to go to the, the trip and everything. I want him to go with me, my second husband. Look, so when I told him that, I said, I didn't put together a little trip, we can go on a little vacation. He said, I ain't going. I said, you ain't going. He said, no, I don't want to go. I don't want to go. And you know me, y'all begging, come on, could you just go? Come on now. And he studied saying no, y'all. So I went on a 3-day fast begging God to change his mind, because I didn't put the money down and I wanted to get away, and just hang out, in the night, fresh air, you know what I'm saying? So look here, he finally told me, he said, after I did the fast, he said, okay, I'll go with you. I don't have no problem with this. All right, so look, y'all, we flew. Everything on the final. No, he ain't paid a dime. He ain't paid no money. He ain't paid no money. So look, when we got there and everything, and it was like in the evening time, so it was nice to be walking around and everything, looking at things and then just enjoying the weather, it's nice and this, that, and the third. So we went on to the room, so he went on to bed like regular, like he home regular. No watching TV with me, no hanging out with me, no nothing. Just he in the place, y'all. So anyways, I was like, okay, I'm just trying to make myself, feel okay because he ain't doing nothing. So I'm just like sitting around, just kind of sitting around. So, okay, now that was like Friday when we got there. Saturday, I was waiting around, sitting outside, y'all, just sitting outside, looking around and everything, looking at the people, looking outside. He still asleep. He ain't get up, y'all, till like 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Mm-hmm. So then by then, I figured we could have went bike riding. I figured a whole lot of things that we could have done, while he was sleeping and stuff. So, I just, came on. So we just walked around and stuff that evening and went to eat, had dinner and all like that, And then, that night they had like a little club and everything. So, I figured we take a little bath and everything. Look at here, y'all. I ran the tub water with big old, one of them big old tubs, with the, jacuzzi tubs and everything. Jets just shooting water, just wonderful. So, I gets on in there. I got on in the tub, y'all. And then he got on the tub and lathered up, with his soap, got a little big old ball of Irish Springs, he lathering up. And then he gets down in the bathtub and rinse all the soap off, and all the bubbles gonna go away. Then he gets out the tub, right, So I said, okay, well, I might as well get on out too. And it's me sitting here, in the tub by myself. So then, we got dressed and everything, and we had dinner and stuff that evening. And then they had like the little music and stuff that night and everything. And watching the people enjoy themselves, watching the husbands and the wives just hug on each other and dance and everything. We went back to the room, y'all, and got ready the next morning to get up on out of there and go home. So look, y'all, I don't have good, I can't pick men. I didn't figure that out. I just can't. And of course, we got divorced too. I've been divorced a long time now. But you know what? It took me a minute to figure out that this ain't gonna work. And I had a couple of girlfriends, and their little husbands was always paying all their bills, and everything, and buying them clothes and buying their kids clothes. And mine wasn't buying nobody nothing. Second one wasn't buying nobody nothing either. And I used to always, I said, can I get a little box of chocolates or something? Mm-mm. Could you?
I wanted to play a little bit of that video to show y'all an example of these are the women who they want you to be like. When they say, grandmama kept my grandpa, my aunties kept my uncles, these are the women they want y'all to be like. These women that go out of their way to keep these marriages together, and they sitting around getting drained and not getting anything in return. And you know what they'll say? Them women back then, they didn't care about getting nothing in return. You need to be like my granny. This the granny they talking about, y'all. Keep in mind this whole story, and shout out to her. And I think I can't see real good, but it looks like her name is Clara Lean or something like that. I'm gonna write her name down because I want to leave her link down below so you guys can check out her TikTok, and because she got a whole lot of wise stories to tell, and that's who y'all need to be. This new generation that's coming up behind us and stuff, these teenagers and early 20-something, y'all need to be listening and taking heed to these old women who was out here acting a fool. Keep in mind, these are the women they want y'all to be like. When they say you need to be like granny kept a man, my auntie kept my uncle. All the women back then, they want you to be like a 1940s, 50s woman. That's who they talking about. They want y'all to be like. And this is another woman who they want y'all to be like. Take a listen to her. Shout out to Yoni No Baloney. Shout out to her.
There's people without a degree today because of a man.
I'm going to say this for those who will listen. Don't be like those of us who allowed a man to stop us in our tracks. And when I say us, I'm talking about myself. I turned 32 in a couple of weeks and I am playing catch up. I am out here in a job market with Gen Z and I'm a millennial. I am not even with my peers, my own peers, because I am trying to catch up with them. I was married very young. I got married at 20 and I was divorced by 30. And let me tell you,
Okay, keep in mind, you guys, this right here, this example is a woman who married before she carried. Okay, so this is another thing they tell you guys to do. They tell you you need to marry before you carry, and that means go ahead and get married before you get pregnant. Good idea. Finish listening to her story.
I sacrificed my own identity for love. I had an ex that told me he didn't want me to work or go to school. He wanted me to be a stay-at-home mom. So that's what I did. And you know what he did in return? He kept us in poverty. He was so comfortable to be living how we were living. And little naive me got pregnant back to back to back every 2 years. So now, as I am playing catch up, I also have 3 kids. And having 3 kids and being a single mom with virtually no support system, it's like, why am I even out here trying? Like, realistically, like, why am I trying? Like, is this gonna work for me? Like, I find myself contemplating often because this shit is hard. So I have to make light of my situation. So I laugh a lot. You know, my neighbors hear me laughing hysterically at 2:00 in the morning because I can't cry anymore. Like, if I don't figure some shit out, I am going to be stuck in poverty with 3 kids, 3 other lives that I am responsible for. And it is such a huge feat. It is such a huge feat. It is such a huge feat. And I am telling you, those of you that will listen, don't put yourself in this situation. And the gag is, I got with my husband. I was very young, but I was also very naive, and I was running away from a very traumatic childhood. And when I got with him, I did not want children because, like I said, I came from a very traumatic childhood. And he made all of these promises, these great promises that he would take care of me. And he said that there was nothing he wanted.
Yes, I'm glad they're coming out telling their stories too, because I just feel like you don't have to make the mistakes that these ladies made. Do not let these men gaslight you. Please don't let them make you think just because you get married and have children that you still won't end up a single mom. And that's why I think a lot of women are opting out of having children. That's why they complain about the birth rate so low. And I can remember me and my sister were talking the other day, and she was like, why is the birth rate so low? Because, she was like looking at, my daughter and her friends, hardly none of them have children. I mean, I think out of a group of 7 of them, only one of them have a child. And I was like, sis, they looking at us. I mean, I said, just think of the time in our community when women were just popping kids out here and there. I mean, at the end of the day, it was 70% of us being left single moms. That's a big reason why we did not leave a great blueprint for them to look back on to want to follow that blueprint that we did. So that's why a lot of them not having kids. And unfortunately, it's a lot of us that's not gonna even probably have the experience of ever being grandparents because the blueprint that we laid out was not just really appealing for them to want to follow. So I think that's the big reason why if things are going the way it is now. And shout out to this young lady. She is brave for telling her story. All of this they tell you, you got to marry before you carry. Man, it don't always fall in place good, guys. You can still end up a single mother after you married too.
Wanted more in life than a family. He said that he wanted a family since he was young, and he was still young saying this shit. He wanted 6 kids, and I was like, I don't know about that. Look, we can come to a compromise. Of course, this is not me speaking. My prefrontal cortex wasn't even developed. I had just turned 20. I was like, we can come to a compromise because I was just so in love with him. I was like, we could do 2. We can have 2 kids. Two won't hurt. And so, yeah, he had me. He had me. He had me to the point to where now he has me fucked up because I have 3 kids, and after divorcing him, he has turned into Casper the Friendly Ghost. He doesn't even call these kids. He doesn't. I have to call him, and I have to make arrangements for him to see the kids. If it's one of their birthdays, I have to call him and make arrangements for him to be there. And I feel like in a way he's punishing me because whenever he gets the chance, he'll tell me, it's your fault you're in that situation. You broke our family up. And I was like, okay, because I was supposed to just remain in a toxic and abusive relationship to the point to where I snapped because I wasn't going to let you off me because you took me to that point to where it got almost lethal. So once again, I'm telling you girls.
So it sounded like, she was being, she was going through a lot in their marriage, it sounds like. And just to be honest, a lot of those relationships, even where the people weren't married and they just had kids together and they were probably shacked up living together, a lot of those relationships were volatile as well. A lot of those relationships were violent. That's a big reason why I told you guys, my second son, father, that's a big reason why I left him. It was a very volatile, physical type of relationship, and I had to get out of there. So, in those situations where women are telling stories like this, what do you think those manosphere guys would say if they heard this young lady telling her story? What they're going to say? The first thing, she should have chose better. Like, do you think she actually knew that she was going to end up with a bum who likes to fight? Do you think she actually knew that? Like, to sum it all up, the moral of the story, do not let these guys gaslight you. You do what is best for you. If staying single is best for you, that's what you should do. Big shout out to everyone who did come through. Y'all make sure if y'all watch that playback, hit the like button. Big shout out to my favorite moderator, Barbie, Bougie Barbie in the building. Shout out to her. And yeah, I am gonna sign on out until next time. I most definitely will be back soon. So you guys stay tuned, hit that subscribe button, and I am out. Peace.